Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fuel for Success on this wonderful Friday morning. We have episode number 118 here today, and I'm excited about today's topic, family and relationships. We had a series of questions last week that we started out with. We're going to continue those today. I know Carol's like, it's Friday. I can't believe it's Friday either. The week has flown by. How's your Friday going so far, Matt?
Fast. So far, my Friday morning has been quite. I'm blessed to be alive. It's been quite eventful, but I'm blessed to be alive, and I'm thankful that we're on Fuel for Success today. And I'm excited about our topic, one of our favorites. And it's a beautiful morning. The sun is shining. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I have water, so we're in good shape.
Awesome. And beautiful June day here in Minnesota as well. Every once in a while in the summer, we get these bonus, wonderful, 55, 60-degree days. So this is one of them. It's been amazing. Today is Friday the 13th, which doesn't freak me out at all. I was thinking,
Did you watch those
yeah,
when they were scary when we're kids, but when you watch them now, it's like, why was we ever scared?
yeah. I wish I had a goalie mask. I would have worn it today. Anyway,
Both should have showed up with goalie masks today.
would
That
be
would have
great.
been epic.
Uh,
Oh, dude, Father's Day is on
yes, it
Sunday,
is.
man.
Happy Father's Day on Sunday to all the fathers out there. Family and relationships, all families have different sort of traditions and things around holidays. Do you have any traditional things you do on Father's Day?
Um, you know, it's tough because Caleb is with me this Father. In fact, he's been with me every Father's Day. It's weird for us. We were talking about this yesterday. For us, Father's Day is it's almost like any other day because we live our life in a way that and listen, I believe in celebrating. I believe in celebrating, birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all this good stuff. But for us, it's always been where every day is just awesome for us, and we're tight, and so we don't really make big, huge deals over Father's Day. Just us being together. I mean, when we're in Florida, we've gone on bike rides, we've gone to the beach, we've gone out on the boat, we've gone out and jet skied. I mean, we've always had fun on Father's Day. This year, it's going to be a little different because we're out on the road. In fact, we're going to be with Chris Dillingham in Toledo, Ohio, speaking there Sunday morning. And then Caleb actually has to fly out Sunday night, man. So he's flying back to Florida because he's got his camp that starts on
Okay.
Monday. So just being together, really spending time together, being together is great for me, How about you? Any special traditions that you
No,
guys
not
have
really.
practiced?
I was just curious if you did because a lot of times you have some traditional things or whatever. We don't. There's nothing specific. We'll probably hang out. Um, a lot of times we'll hang out with Carol's parents as well on Father's Day, Mother's Day. Go see them. But no special things really. Other than that, I mean, family is always special, like you said. Uh, so I don't necessarily wait. I think it's a good idea not necessarily to wait till the one day a year to appreciate your father or mother. So, uh, hey, we've got a bunch of questions that have come in, and we've got a couple left over from last week as well. And just like every Friday, today's family and relationships. And so we've got more than enough to cover today, but I want to encourage everybody that's joining us live. First of all, thanks for being here live with us, and enjoy having you here and interacting and asking questions and commenting and those sort of things. It makes it a lot more exciting, fun, and entertaining, and also informative for all of us, you and me, as well as everybody else that's watching. So appreciate everybody that's here live. And by all means, ask questions. That's one of the great advantages of this live format. You have access. So
I will say this real quick about any Father's Day, Mother's Day, birthday, Valentine's Day, Christmas. You know what I believe? I believe we don't do sentimental gifts enough. I think that the fact that we've reached a place in our country, and I get it for like, don't misunderstand what I'm about to say, but to give like your dad a gift card and a card that just says Happy Father's Day, to me, don't misunderstand what I'm about to say. This is my own opinion here. Someone may have a different opinion, and I respect that. To me, that's meaningless. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like Caleb asks me every year, what do I want? I said, listen, just write me a card. That's all I want. Like, I don't need anything, I really don't. And it could be my personality, but whether it's my personality or not, I do believe that we need to get back to giving more sentimental gifts, especially to our own parents. I mean, what would mean more to your father is to write him a letter about what you would say about him at his funeral, or things you've always wanted to say that you've respected about him that you've never said. That would probably mean more to him than a $200 gift card to Home Depot, or a brand new chainsaw, or a new grill. And I'm all about gifts. I'm all about gifts when they're given with meaning. But I'll just go grab a gift card. I don't know. And although I almost prefer gift cards myself, I'd actually probably prefer a gift card. So again, it's our show. We talk about whatever. It's up for debate. It's up for discussion. It's a different viewpoint. I just think we need to get back to maybe more sentimental gifts. Maybe like even a picture of you and your dad. I guarantee you 20 years down the road, he may not have that chainsaw. He may not have that grill. But somewhere in his office or in his garage, his man cave, is going to be that picture. I can tell you this. I've got every sentimental gift that my son has ever given me. So those are what really matter in life, and I just think we need to get back to those in general. I'm not saying just for Father's Day. I'm just saying consider that for all special days. Go more sentimental, meaningful. Same thing with Valentine's Day, same thing with birthdays, same thing with Mother's Day, Christmas. Yeah, go all out on Christmas, whatever you feel. Just my thoughts, man.
Carol said that might work for some, but she'll go with a gift card. You said you prefer gift cards yourself. I'm gonna call you out, Carol, because I actually made a book of poems for her one year, poems that I wrote specifically for her, and made a book and gave it to her for Valentine's Day, and she still has it, but she doesn't have any of the gift cards I gave her. So there you go.
That's very good. Very. It brings home.
Yeah, I think I like what you're saying, and here let me sort of paint a word picture of a scenario that I've actually done myself personally. Like, it's Father's Day or Mother's Day or some holiday that it's like sneaks up on you, and there's like this obligatory, oh, I have to get a gift, and you just run by in 30 seconds, go in, grab a gift card, and like jam it in a card, and like, here's your gift. And it's like, what's the point of that?
Yeah. What's the point? Are you ready for this? It's like my brother and I a while back. I used to get him a gift card. He used to get me a gift card. And I'm like, hey, bro, let's just call a deal here. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, I don't need no gift card. You don't need a gift card.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. It's totally cool. Let's just get stuff for the
here's a $20 bill. Oh, here's a $20 bill. All right, thanks. We did our thing, right? What sense does that make?
It's just, in all families, this is family relationship. We've lost depth and everything. Not even if you go to the majority of family Christmas parties, it's like, let's hurry up and get this over with so we can check it off and say we did it. There's no like depth. There's no like true like sit down and have family time and talk and share and talk about memory. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like last Christmas, thank God it happened. Trav and I went home to Michigan. We're the sentimental ones of the family. Like our family Christmases are crazy, man. You know, 90% of my family's drunk within the first 30 minutes of the Christmas party, you know? Like we don't even get 30 minutes before they're all looped, they're lit, you know, I mean all of them. Cousins, 18-year-old cousins, brothers and sisters, you know, they're just, and so our family Christmases are somewhat shallow because they're all in a rush, and we're all in a rush nowadays. You know, here's my grandma. She's like the golden lady, you know? And so I finally just like, there's probably about 25 of my family members. I said, okay, I want to have everybody's attention real quick. And, you know, which took like 10 minutes to get, you know, to get them all to like, you know, chill. And I said, I want everyone to sit in a circle here. I said, we're all going to go around and share one of our favorite memories of Grandma and one thing that we absolutely love about her. Now, you know something, Mike? I'm not going to lie. Most of my family struggled with that just because to slow down and do that type of stuff, we rarely do it. We rarely do that type of stuff in our families. But it meant more to my grandma that night. She told us later. I mean, she said it was the best Christmas she's ever had. I mean, that meant more to her than if we all would have pitched in and gave her a $2,000 gift card to anywhere she wanted to go. So I'm just saying, no matter what, we've got to get back to more depth in our relationships, less shallow, less rushed, more quality over quantity, more quality time. That's what's missing is the connection, the quality time, the real, I mean, family's family, you know, but yet most families aren't really families. You know, most people have swings on their porches and never sit in them. Can't tell you the amount of houses I've been to where you look at the porch, it's got cobwebs on, you know, the swing, the porch swing, you know, it's got cobwebs on. I mean, some of my best days in life were sitting with my grandma and grandpa on a porch swing, sipping on a Pepsi. I mean, I had emotional attachments to Pepsi for a long time. It's like, you know, nothing like just a good old can of Pepsi, baby, with grandma and grandpa right out on the porch swing. But we know it's beautiful. They would sit there for hours. They would talk about school. They would talk to me about baseball. That stuff is missing nowadays. The good quality time and quality relationships, that's missing.
I think that's true. You drive through the town I live in, and everybody's got front porches and stuff, and you rarely ever see anyone. You rarely ever see anyone, period. Much less just sitting out on the porch, you know, enjoying the gorgeous day. My son and I were walking. We took the dog and we walked down by the river yesterday, and it was it was like 64 degrees. It was the most gorgeous evening you could ever ask for. Amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. Perfect weather. And we're walking in this beautiful park with this walking trail, and there's no one in sight. There was no one there. I'm like, where is everybody? People are missing out. Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone. It really is. I mean, it's gone, and it shows. It shows in like, as go the family, so goes the world, you know. And when the family unit weakens, when the family unit is not strong, there's no depth, there's no love, there's no safety, there's no security. The world is in trouble. The family is everything. Like God created the family even before he created the church. So we as people that are watching this Fuel for Success, we need to return to those good old family values and really make sure we give our kids and show them a better way. Most of us didn't grow up with it at all, but I've been determined to show my son a better way, you know. So, and I know you guys all feel the same way. A lot of good comments over here. I like what Christy said. Her dad sat her down and said that they had a long talk and said, look, I don't need any I don't need a present for Father's Day. Your love is all I need and want. Most of our parents really feel that way. They really do.
It's good. Hey, I also enjoy all the interaction over here. Let's jump. I've got two questions that we promised we get to today. I'm not sure we're going to because we're halfway through already. But let's jump into the first one, which is this: how can you communicate with and establish boundaries with other family members, like in-laws, etc.? Boundaries.
Well, you know something, Mike? Here's the deal, okay? There's no way to have a successful, happy life without establishing boundaries. That's number one. This just has to happen. Everybody has to slow down and establish boundaries. And the man of the house, if it's his parents and his parents are overstepping boundaries and interfering in the marriage and speaking maybe against his wife. I literally know husbands that allow his parents to speak against their wives. Like, that is an absolute just boundary that cannot happen. That's something where you as a man got to sit your parents down at the table and say, I've chosen this lady, I love her, and I'm going to be very clear with you. I will forever be in your life as long as you can respect my wife. Good little tweet for you. But the day that you start disrespecting or violating these, and sometimes, and your parents actually, believe it or not, most of them should respect that they've raised a boy to grow up to become an adult that is mature enough to establish boundaries and say, look, Mike, there's no easy way around it. It's all about communication. It's all about boundaries. And it's all about setting those boundaries and saying, Mom, I don't want you to ask me those questions anymore. I love you, and I mean this respectfully, but that's none of your business. Like, that's literally like, Mom, I love you. When I want advice, I'll ask, but please don't tell me how to raise my kids. There's a fine line. Again, all said in respect. All said at the right time, but it's got to be said. And again, I'm giving drastic situations here.
Yeah.
I mean, I would need to know the exact situation, but no matter what, the best thing to do is set boundaries. Boundaries save relationships. Boundaries save you from being frustrated, from continuously being violated, So then if it's the lady, same thing. Like, believe it or not, I'm going to tell you right now, some of you ladies have strong fathers, okay, that are very successful men. And your dad is strong and he's successful because he's had 30, 40 years of building this. Then you marry this 22-year-old kid who's, just establishing himself and getting started or whatever. And some of you ladies have got to establish boundaries with your fathers and give your loyalty to your husband and let your husband lead you. Because I've seen more situations, this happens more than we even realize, where a man loses his individuality because the lady is so fearful of her father, or so influenced by all of his advice that literally, well, my dad says this. My dad said we should do this. You should never do that to your husband. Please don't misunderstand the value of getting advice and gleaning wisdom from your parents, but you have got to let your man be the man. And even if that means making mistakes, even if that means, sometimes, maybe your man feels like you guys should buy this house, and your dad says, oh, no, that's a bad buy. That's a waste of money. You gotta lay down the boundary and stand by. That old song, Stand By Your Man? It's a good song. So, I think this goes both ways. Those mama's boys out there who they go to their mom for everything. They're feeling sick and they call their mom instead of their wife. They stop by their mom's house after work every day instead of going home to their wife. And I just think, look, man, some of this is out of control. And a lot of marriages, you wouldn't realize how many marriages suffer because of these things. So boundaries is the answer. Clear communication. And, that's my take on it.
It's
You,
good.
Mike?
Like what Carol said, she said sometimes you have to avoid them. When Carol and I were first married, the first year we were married, we moved to another state. It wasn't like intentional, it was just situational. But looking back, because of my job, we got married, we moved to a different state. My parents were in Missouri, her parents were in Minnesota, and we were living in Iowa. And it was probably the best thing for us because we were alone. We didn't have their influence in our lives every single day. And it ended up being very good for us. So, that, and she says, avoid them. I don't, she's not saying avoid them like push them out of your life, but just sort of avoid contact, avoid, bringing up those day-to-day conversations and things of that nature. So, it's good. I'm glad you.
Mike, I believe that. I believe the best things you can do as a young couple, if you're getting married, is move 2,000 miles away from your parents for the first few years. I know that's kind of extreme, but actually, believe it or not, a lot of marriage books actually suggest that. I want to throw one more thing in there, Mike, unless you have more you were going to share, because it's on a little bit of a different.
No, go ahead.
topic.
I was going to change topics too. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say this. I had a friend of mine whose wife was married to a dad who had wealthy parents, okay? And so she would rack up credit cards to the max and then go to her dad and ask him to pay him off, and he would. And finally, one day, the husband in frustration came to me and he said, look, man, what do I do? I said, bro, this is going to be the hardest thing you probably ever had to do, but you're going to have to take her down to lunch and tell her that you forbid for him to write any more checks to her, because she was getting in the habit of it was actually bleeding over into affecting her finances because her dad would always bail her out. I mean, I'm talking like $10, $15, $20,000 credit cards, and her dad would always just bail her out, and he had to do that. He had to it was the hardest conversation he ever had. It created friction and conflict. Listen, if you're a parent, be the good in-law. Be the, don't be the annoying jerk in-law that's prideful and ego-driven. Be the good in-law. You know what I mean? Be the mother-in-law that your son-in-law, when his wife says, hey, my mom's coming to town for the week, be the mother-in-law that the son is like, thank God, I can't wait, right? Or, yeah, actually, what? Some of us guys are thinking about going camping that week, and I'm just kidding. Don't do that, right? No matter what.
It's good. You could actually pull out the word in-law there and just add a blank there. Don't be the whatever that's annoying. Be the whatever you are that people like to be around, right? The brother, the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the friend, the father, the son, the whatever, right? Yeah, it's good. Hey, one quick thing, because we were talking earlier about love languages, and Janice mentioned something. They were having a conversation. She said quality time isn't everyone's love language. I'm just going to circle back to that real quick, which is absolutely true. And it's we've talked about the book about love languages earlier in another episode. But even if it isn't like someone's one of their top love languages, it's still an important thing in anybody's life, right? I mean, with the 5 love languages, everybody needs all of those, but not necessarily, are they priority? See what I'm saying? So it's something that people will want to have in their life, even if it's not one of their top ones. But it is important, I think, to kind of understand what, like if in a relationship, especially in a marriage, what is everybody's love language, and even your kids, to sort of understand what it is that they value as a love language. So just wanted to.
Mike, what's your love language?
It has something to do with code. I'm not sure. No, it's.
It is a really good book. And even though everyone's love language is not quality time, you can't have love without quality time. So even though It may not how you feel most loved. There's no way to have healthy, deep relationships without spending quality time together, you know. Good book, though. So what's your love language?
No.
Words of affirmation?
Nope. I could almost care less about that. So, no, it's like physical touch. Yeah, and quality time.
Quality time? All right, I'll sit down at Mission 25 this week and have coffee with you, okay? And I won't check my phone. I'll listen. I'll look in your eyes.
One of my wife's is affirmation. Definitely, she's weighing in on that. No doubt about it. Quality time is pretty low on the. Hey, so the other question that we had, and this is almost, let's see if we can cover this in 5 minutes because we talked about it last week. We are going to cover it. And I love this topic. What should you do if your teenager starts to date the wrong person?
Shoot, man, shoot. Take them out.
We
got people. We know people. Take them out. We know people, my friends. You know, Mike, you got teenagers. I'll let you go first, then I'll follow behind.
Well, I'll tell you what doesn't work. To like forbid your teenager to see someone is a very difficult situation, and that pretty much will never work. Especially, especially a teenager, because teenagers are sort of like, they're like inverse people. They're like anti-people. I'm not sure exactly. Was it Mark Twain that said when your son turns 15, you should put him in a barrel and feed him through the hole, and then when he turns 16, plug the hole? That was the best way to raise teenagers. Something like that. But to sort of, at least in my experience, to like lay down the law and say just flat, like, this is the way it is, and bless God, I said so, and that's the way it is, doesn't work. All you're really doing is pushing them in the direction you don't want them to go. So I think the best thing to do is really just to communicate your concerns, and you know, seems like every Friday, I mean, it ends up being about communication, but that's the truth. You really need to sort of communicate your concerns, and not in really a negative fashion either. Just sort of say, hey, you know what? Here's what I've noticed, and here's what, if possible, even sort of cast a big vision. You know, like, hey, you know, I'm sort of seeing your life in a certain way. Like, here's your potential. Here's where you could be, right? And have you thought about, you know, the impact a relationship with this person would be? And of course, in my home, we don't, you know, my kids don't date just for the purpose of dating, right? If they're in a relationship with someone, then they're seeing if they're marriage material, and so they're testing that to see, you know, is this someone that I'm going to be, that I have a mind to marry? And if not, then don't waste your time, right? We're not in the dating game just to be dating, just because that's what everybody does. That's the way the world is, and I don't agree with that. So looking long term at it, saying, you know, if this isn't marriage potential, then there's no point in even being involved in a relationship. And so just communicating those concerns, and looking at it from a big vision standpoint, I think is a good way to sort of handle it.
Yeah, actually, very good, man. Very good stuff that I'll remember as Caleb gets older and starts to date. I think a lot of your hoping that your kids don't date the wrong person starts with child training. The way that you train your child when they're young, the type of character you build in them, the type of habits, the type of you know, look, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, there's going to be times when your boy is going to like a girl that would not be your choice, and vice versa. That's something that's their own unique individuality. That's their taste. You know, like Caleb was getting a pair of shoes yesterday, and he's like, do you like them, Dad? I said, you know what, Caleb, look, here's the deal. My real question is, do you love them? Because if you love them, I like them. Now, would I buy them? No. No. But I'm 38. You know what I'm saying? You're 12. You know, so I think that I'll give my views on this next week because I do have some practical things to say on some ways to do it, because the real question is, you're the parent. And as long as they're still not 18, they're still under your guidance. They're still under your authority. They're still under your, and the question is, what if they date the wrong person? Not somebody you don't like. I mean, someone you don't like could be the right one. Somebody that's not your choice could be the right one. But if they're dating the wrong person, you have to take action. You have to take action. I think there's a way to do it, but as a parent, you have to take action. If we're talking about teenagers, so that means they're not 18, they're not an adult. And so I think a lot of parents, you know, allow their kids in teenage years to kind of, you know, teenagers, you know, as you know, grow kind of rebellious. I mean, I've seen it years of youth ministry, and I guess maybe in a little bit my son, as he's about to be 13, I'm starting to see this,
Independence.
you know,
Yeah,
independence here, my friend. So I'll dive into this next week, give my view about what to do if your kid is dating the wrong one. Again, not somebody you don't like. Your kids are most likely going to find people that you don't like, because nobody's good enough for your kids, right? So anyway, we'll talk about it. And I like what Carol said. My Lord, yeah, you know, Danny has got a lot of worries because of her dad and me. I'm like, tough. I'm like, I got to meet him. You cannot date him until I meet him first. I got to at least ask him 50 questions. After I ask him about 50 questions, maybe you can go out and have ice cream. Maybe.
You get to meet Anna, she's saying, John's girlfriend in Detroit. Anna's coming to that, so you'll like Anna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fight for her.
She's wonderful. There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you know, she is a great girl. And nothing substitutes asking questions. Just keep asking questions because it provokes thought.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you can awaken your kid just by asking questions, and they'll see it. You don't even got to tell them. And in fact, if you can somehow let them be the ones to see it without you telling them, yes, all the better. Al, we're going to it. We're back next Friday, baby. You know, Mike's sweating bullets over there. I know my partner. He's over there sweating like a dog, thinking, we're 2.5 minutes over. You know, but anyways, it's good. I love you, Mike. Great weekend. Mike. I'll be seeing you in 4 days-ish. Mission 25, Chi-Town, coming down. Hey, awesome stuff happening for Chicago. Listen, my friends, if you have not been to a missions trip, time is running out. We're halfway through the year. After Chicago, there'll only be 6 left. So wake up. Make it happen. Fuelforsuccess.tv. You're welcome to join us anytime you want. We love having you. Archived. You can watch it later. Those that are watching the archive, God bless you. We love you. Send in your thoughts. We want to hear them. We want your questions, your comments, your thoughts. I love everybody's comments over here to the right. Great stuff, great content. Happy Father's Day to all you dads. God bless, Mike. Enjoy your day. I'm proud to be an American. I'm blessed to be alive. And we'll see y'all Monday morning for our health and weight loss show.